Do you want customers?
Make things simpler, faster, more convenient. One tap, you get a conversation with your customer that never ends.
You know how many people have been to your venue. You know how many people have tapped you. I'm just going to scan.
Yeah, I was like, you need to talk to Ryan. He's got Tap the Table. Don't even waste your time. He's got a solution.
It just works.
And that's why Tap the Table exists in the first place. Boom. And then you just start doubling the price. That's that right there.
We're doing different things.
I'm going to tell you what works based on what I have literally seen. Stop. Just tap your phone. Boom, done. Easy. Boom, done, easy. What is going on, people of the internet? I am your host of the ChatBot Podcast, Ryan Baggy, and you're in for a treat today. I tell you what, it's been a minute since I've been able to do some consistent podcasts because work has been insane, which is a good thing. And I want to talk about one of my favorite, lesser-known subjects tonight, and that is ghost kitchens and virtual brands. That is correct, folks. You're in probably one of the most nichiest of niche places right now. If you're watching this, and if you are, thank you for tuning in. This is episode 14 of season 2 of the Chatbot Podcast. We've been doing our thing for a minute, and we've only talked about this subject for a few episodes briefly. We've never had, I don't think, an episode just on this subject. So tonight that is going to change. And if you don't know what a virtual brand is or a ghost kitchen, if you've never heard of this, no, this is not a super late April Fool's joke. This is actually a real thing, and it's really cool. I think we on Hilton Head Island, where I live, don't have many of these options available just yet. We're lucky if we do have Uber or Grubhub or DoorDash to deliver to us if you're into that sort of service. But even then, on Hilton Head and Bluffton, where I am currently, there's not all of the options available. I think for one of the cooler virtual brands or ghost kitchens near me is in Charleston. So all the fun things happen in the bigger cities, right? So what is a virtual brand, right? We're going to get right to it, and I'm going to just pop some of these notes I've got on the screen, and then we're going to jump into a really interesting little blog article from a place called Bento Box that I've actually heard of many times on Clubhouse. I think they have some representatives that are pretty active in Clubhouse. Seem like some cool people. Don't know too much about the company, but the article I found recently is really interesting. So let's take a look here. What is a virtual brand or a virtual restaurant? A virtual restaurant serves their customers by delivery only. Okay, so imagine that you are Olive Garden, okay? And because of the health crisis, what's going on, you have a lot of staff hanging around, which is not the case currently, right? Bad example, but let's continue with it. You have a lot of staff hanging around because you have this giant dining room that you're not able to have guests sit down or whatever. And thankfully, it seems like some of these restrictions are lifting, which is a good thing in my opinion, but we won't talk about that. I digress. You're in Olive Garden, and people can't come sit down, so you're way less busy. You're making less money, but yet you don't want to like throw your employees out on the street. Right? You're not into that kind of business, and so you're trying to figure out how am I going to keep this kitchen staff paid and busy, and not like totally go out of business and like not be able to pay the rent. So, in the case of a virtual restaurant, the Olive Garden location, call it the one here locally here in Hilton Head, the Olive Garden is now going to make a deal with a third-party company, and they're going to, in addition to selling their to-go Olive Garden food, they're also going to sell an additional brand's food that does not have a location, okay? They don't have their own brick and mortars anywhere, okay? This is a really interesting concept I've never thought of until late last year, and a fella named Chad Horn, who's a good buddy of mine, he blew me away with this thought. And I'll tell you what, I think the guy is onto something here, but we'll get into it. So this is in essence what a virtual brand is. So you have Olive Garden, they're serving a lot of business to go, maybe for lunch, but then there's still a lot of time in the day where they're not making a lot of sales. where they would be making those sales had there been no restrictions and people are sitting there eating as normal, right? So to make up for these lost profits and to keep everything going, they start selling these multiple brands, really cool stuff. And now, below in the hole, they're selling 6, 7, 8 additional brands along with the Olive Garden menu. Okay, now you see where we're going with this. The benefits here are plentiful if it's done the right way, and it must be done the right way. And with restaurant business, when you're looking at it as a mathematical sense, it's close to chemistry. You have to be very exact with your projections, and you have to be very exact with your your math that you're doing to get down to how you're making the profit, right? And so profit margins aren't very big in restaurants anyways, so you've got to be very cautious of this. You don't want to just be cooking food to be cooking food and then ending up losing money. So like you have to really understand the math and the cost behind everything. So you have this concept, you're serving all these brands, making these orders. Okay, great. The ghost kitchen concept, these are virtual brands as well. They in general do not have their own brick and mortar locations. And they're something like this. This is not a real brand, but I think it should be just because I think it sounds funny and I'd probably buy it. So think about Justin Timberlake, right? A question for anybody looking, you're a Backstreet person or an NSYNC person. This is like from my time, right? I'm 31 now, so I can say my time, right? The old days. These were the bands, right? NSYNC or Backstreet Boys, right? But let's talk about Justin Timberlake. He has a huge, huge fan base, very wide audience. Yes, he is a celebrity. Another term for celebrity these days, influencer. And influencers come in all forms, shapes, sizes, and followings, okay? But he is definitely an influencer. He has influence. So when Justin Timberlake tweets or posts something on Facebook, his audience sees this and they react, right? That's the idea of behind social media posting in the first place. Okay, so Justin Timberlake wants to make money. And he loves food and he loves steak. So he invents a brand called Justin Timberlake Steak. Okay, right? Justin, if you're listening, holler at me. I know some people. We can make it happen. Trust me on this one, right? So he says, I got this awesome steak. Been working on this, like, I don't know, seasoning for the steak for like 20 years, right? I'm getting old now. How old is Justin Timberlake? Who knows? So all of a sudden, he makes the right connections, and now Uber Eats and DoorDash and Grubhub, and even maybe old Postmates, definitely not Chow now though. They wouldn't do this. But the other guys, they probably would. They're going to start selling and promoting maybe the Justin Timberlake steak. So now, without spending a ton of money and without investing in brick and mortar, meaning Timberlake is not having to do his market research necessarily. He's not having to buy property and build and deal with all this stuff. Instead, he's utilizing an infrastructure that's already existing that in most cases is already going to be successful. Probably there's already a pipeline of customers. Okay. So you're starting from zero, and because you have a huge reach, you're able to quickly, potentially dominate the market. Because at the end of the day, you're able to sell yourself and your brand. You've been selling yourself and your brand your entire life as a performer, influencer type person. This is a big deal. And this is a win-win situation theoretically if it's done correctly and all the math is absolutely correct, which is a must. All things equal, you're looking at additional revenue streams. Okay, that's what you're looking at. And you're not looking at having to necessarily promote said revenue streams if they're coming from the celebrity side. Now, where things get really interesting, right? Do you think the celebrity ghost kitchens that are in existence, and I had some in the thumbnail, all my friends there, had my buddy Wiz, had, Tiger Bites, Mariah Carey's cookies. She's got some cookies for sale. All these celebrities are like taking advantage of their following in I think a positive way. Probably I haven't had any of the food. A lot of it looks cool. And I hope that they're making, for the majority of these businesses, a lot of money where they need it right now, where you have the good guys and the bad guys, I'm going to call them, So even took some time right before I started to make you some like splendid graphics here and post up. And I like Photoshop this thing just for y'all. See if I can find it. Maybe I can. Maybe I can't. Let's see. Yes, I found it. I got 2 graphics here. So first, I'm going to show you the bad guys, in my opinion, because I just feel like any business that's going to just straight tax these restaurants that are like, a lot of them dipping their toes into restaurant online ordering for the first time, for them to be taking so much money, and for the restaurants to be excited about it because they've never had online orders before. It's like, it's gut wrenching, because at the end of the day, the restaurants that have been around the block, they understand that, like, whoa, I cannot be giving Uber Eats and the likes, let's put them on there, put them on blast. I can't be giving these folks, how country am I? 20 to 30% of my revenue every freaking order. My profit margins are only X big. They're not giant. It's not manufacturing here. So, and I can't be giving away these profits, and I cannot rely on this business. So, like, the worst part about this scenario is the restaurants that only take online orders through these third parties because of whatever reasoning they have. What happens is they never understand how much money they're actually losing out on over the course of a year. What makes this difficult is these guys on this screen that you see, they do not share, okay? I will tip my hat to them, literally, for getting the customer into the buying system of these restaurants that have never had online success before. But I'll tell you what, it's just like, to me, robbery at how expensive it really is. And if you're not careful with your math as a restaurateur or a restaurant owner or manager, you're totally going to miss out on how much money has actually been lost. And over time, due to call it spillage or whatever, an order being placed in the wrong location, whatever, like, these things add up, folks. So while in the moment it may not seem like a totally big deal, it adds up, believe me. And so just like any other fee and commission and all this stuff you have to pay, these are things that are like, the cost of doing business. Well, that may be true. Cost of doing business is a real thing. I pay my fair share, believe me. But at the same time, I'm like very careful with my money when I'm like thinking about it, right? If I'm not thinking about it, very easy to spend. When I'm thinking about it, I can do the right math and understand when I'm losing. And if I lose more than once, it really bugs me. So I have to figure out how to not lose again in that same regard. So in the case, Jonathan here has become a customer of mine because of Ryan's Pizza Restaurant orders from Uber Eats. I never know who John is. I don't know his name, actually. So I served him food. Is he my customer or is he Uber Eats customer? That's the question. Anybody want to answer that one? I think that is the difficult one to answer. And so if you want to say, well, the first time ever Jonathan or whoever this person is, because I don't know, has ordered from me and it's through a delivery app, I can make the argument that this is Uber Eats customer. But what if he loved Ryan's Pizza so much, right? At the end of the day, if he orders from me 10 times in a month, say, like this one does from several pizza places, I guess it's so bad to admit, but am I their customer or am I a delivery app's customer? I feel like if I'm the owner of Ryan's Pizza Restaurant, I want to know Jonathan and thank him for his business because he is putting food on my table for my family, right? Theoretically here. So I'm passionate about this stuff because I just know where it ends up. I've seen this. Like, I can't get on my Facebook feed anymore without seeing some like depressing news about restaurants closing or this place shutting down, or like the latest trend, obviously, if you're paying attention here, is the staff shortage, which, it just sucks, man, all the way around. I'm not going to talk about any politics stuff here. That's not what we do, but I'll tell you, staff shortages are something that's, you have to really understand what can be done and what can't be done. You can't make magic happen. You can't make people do something they don't want to do. Obviously, it's not, the market is designed to fix these scenarios. And I'll tell you what, it'll be interesting to see what happens. I was on a Clubhouse again earlier today, as I mentioned, and we were kind of on this subject. And I said, well, look at the big guys first. Look at your big companies that are making the big money, making the big decisions at scale, and then you're going to get a great understanding of where things probably will go for everyone else. Like, this is kind of the true thing that is just in general. You can kind of watch it. And so when the big companies like a McDonald's are out here depending less on people and more on automation and more on displays and screens and do it yourself. Hello. Okay, your $15 an hour McDonald's worker will exist, but not at the same scale the worker did at half the pay rate, because you're going to be able to make things automatically better, more efficient, and cheaper over time. That is what technology does, my friends. Okay, so this is the real deal. Whether it is something like they're ordering from their own device or they're using a screen display, who knows? I mean, I feel like I've seen many case studies on how much more efficient and profitable it is. I think you're able to turn more guests, even in the scenario of like a McDonald's, you're able to turn more guests by using this technology because it's faster, more efficient. You're not having a back and forth like, what did you say, sir, ma'am? Did you say you wanted pickles or ketchup? I don't remember. What did you say? I can't hear you. Especially with this mask stuff, right? Like you're not going to be able to hear someone in the case of a loud restaurant telling you pickles or no pickles, I guess. I get it. I guess you're not allowed in the restaurant in the first place. But again, luckily, this is changing. So Celebrity Ghost Kitchens, back to it. Are they going to be around? Have you had any food from a Celebrity Ghost Kitchen? This is what I want to know. How do you like the background, by the way? We decided as we grow at Tap the Table, so will the podcast. And so we leveled up from just the straight black background to this little thing I got on Amazon. Speaking of Amazon, a lot of new NFC coming out. I'm doing a Clubhouse with a fellow named Chip Close, who is, this dude is smart. His website is chipclosecreative.com. He is a smart guy, one of the good guys. He's going to try to tell you the things that are going to save and make you money. Who else are good guys in the industry? Because I'm not going to be a negative Nelson here, okay? I'm going to show you the good guys. And here, my picks, personal picks. These are my views. No one else is here. Here you go. We've got Hunger, which they are a delivery service as well, ordering application. Like an Uber Eats, but they're not trying to, like, number one, hold all the customer data hostage, and number two, they're not trying to like totally kill them on these fees and the same commissions. So excellent job, Hunger, and shout out to them. Secondly, a huge shout out to Ordermark and NextBite, because they're smart. They're a brilliant company, and they got some good things going on. And I'll tell you, watch them to lead the pack. That's what I think. I think watch them, watch the moves they make, and you'll know the move your business, your restaurant should probably be looking at, considering at least. So the next thing I'm going to do here, folks, we'll see. Is there another caption up here? Let's see. What's up? Restream. Celebrity Ghost Kitchens, will they stay? Will they not? Who knows? Only time will tell. Whatever you do, do not go to celebrityghostkitchens.com. Don't go there. I warned you. Don't do it. How many people will go there? I'll check the hits later. Whoopsie. All right, so let's share the screen here, and let's look at this article I was telling you about. Because I think this is an interesting one. You don't need to see me for this. Let's make this big bento box. I have to see what exactly all they're about. But again, I just was being nosy, listening into these little clubhouse rooms. And for me, there's a lot of times value in this application because I am so focused. I don't listen to every room there is out there. Instead, I stay pretty much in Guy Clark's space, which is the restaurant marketing club. Android folks, don't get mad at me for talking about this stuff. You're going to have it soon enough. I promise you. Like, I guess it's like a couple months away because they have the slowest development team of all time at Clubhouse. I wish I could at Clubhouse on this podcast. All right, back to Bento Box. So considering online ordering for a restaurant, these are the partner platforms to check out. Okay, cool. Partner platforms. So first, Chow Now, which literally like we're enemies here. Tap the table and Chow Now. I didn't say this. They said this by their actions because they blocked your boy from commenting on their Facebook post because I was asking simple questions. I just don't understand. And so instead of like replying ever, they decided to block me. They blocked me personally. They don't know I can still comment to them with any of these, like, well, we won't say the number of accounts we have here. But anyways, Chow Now. I tell you what, I wish you'd unblock me. We could have a live discussion about what our intentions are in this space of helping restaurants or hurting restaurants. I tell you one thing, I don't want to hurt restaurants. I want to help them. That is all. Grubhub, DoorDash, these guys are not my favorite, but they're not as horrible. They have a lot more value to offer, in my opinion, than than an application like Chow Now, which I think is far, far, far too expensive for what it is, and is, in my opinion, taking advantage of an industry that just doesn't know this technology space very well. No fault of their own because they're too busy serving us, the customer. Right? Postmates, I have no experience with them. And I don't know too much about them other than I can bucket them probably, and they're too expensive. And obviously Uber Eats. You kind of like made this whole industry at the same time, and you've generated a lot of revenue. A lot of restaurants are very thankful. I'm thankful you exist as well in many ways, but in your business model that is still current, it's out of date already because it is too much money, in my opinion. But again, the market decides this stuff, not loudmouths like me. Here's Bento Box. We've got a pretty cool looking online ordering deal here. It looks like it's like a Stripe checkout. It looks like if they've made this themselves. This is like a spitting image of Stripe. Here we go. All right, Bento ordering. So let's check this out. I only breezed through this, but I thought it was very interesting what they've got here. And this is a big enough company where I'm going to take them at face value and believe the information that they provide. I'm going to believe that they did their research here. So Bento empowers restaurants to capture the pickup and delivery service, blah, blah, blah. Pros. Restaurants can bypass high commission costs as high as 30% from third-party marketplaces, dude. That is insane. Over 30% from third parties. And they're going to tell us, basically, in their own words, how bad these other dudes are. But they're not going to totally trash them because, I guess, because they're seeing partners, they integrate, which is something that Tap the Table we don't have across the board because we're so small and good-hearted and have the right intentions. I'll just put that out there. We don't want to just like take forever. But I digress. So they're saying, yeah, you can do a lot of things here. Good. Cons, if your takeout, okay, let's see if they're going to have a real con or not. If your takeout order volume is low, you'll need to market your direct orders. Bento does help with this through, and this is like a buzzword here, complimentary social media and email announcement template. All right, I don't know what a template is, but I'm sure this is something that you could like maybe Google images search and get the same thing. $39 per location as an add-on. So they start off with the low price. Good marketing, baby. $39 if you want this add-on to our actual like real product, which is $79 a month. So it's over $100 a month, and it allows you to facilitate online orders. Awesome. And like, here's the thing: if your website does get a lot of traffic and people are looking for this, and you don't offer it, this will instantly allow you to sell. Okay. I'm not hating on this company at all. I don't know them. Again, they just provided value in Clubhouse, so I checked them out, and here we are. I believe that while there are probably more affordable solutions, I think this is a pretty interface for the most part. It's simple. It will work. Good for them, you know. And if there's no hidden fees that they're not showing us here, if there's no commissions and none of this stuff, then good on them. Excellent. Good job, Bento. I think this is good for the most part. I believe that as restaurants see the success in online sales, outside of the ecosystem of the third parties and more internally, they buy into the thing that makes the restaurant groups and the bigger franchises and then the corporate giants all successful, which is what we always come back to: the list, the contact list, your customer list. You must be able to text message and email your customers to tell them thank you, to ask them how your last experience was, to welcome them back. Grubhub. All right, let's check them out. How bad are they? Grubhub operates in 2,200 cities. Holy crap, that's so many restaurants, man. And they operate on a commission model similar to the other platforms in this list. The fee that Grubhub takes is up to 30% of each order. This 30% commission fee includes high exposure placement in the marketplace. Okay, so let me explain what this actually means. They're going to list your restaurant's menu on their channels, so their website and their app, and they're going to allow the users of their website and app to purchase your food, and they're going to take from you 30% of that food. All right, so this 30% commission fee includes high exposure placement. This is not going to be true for the duration of the time your place is on the platform. You cannot have high exposure placement for the duration of the time you're on the app at the same time someone else has the same high exposure placement, because eventually, folks, the exposure like rate measurement is not all the same. You cannot all be number one. You cannot, like, this is the same idea of like the participation trophy here. Sure, everyone can have a trophy if that's what you want to have. But if you want to have a high placement, a number one ranking, a top ranking, everyone in every listing cannot be the same. It does not work that way. Everyone cannot be number one on Google. Maybe that's the best way to put this. Okay, so either way, this is like marketing jargon here. Grubhub controls 25% of the market share for food delivery. So they're taxing a whole bunch of restaurants that don't know any better. And, you know, honestly, up until maybe in the past, truthfully, like 24 months, there have not been better solutions than this. I'm not faulting these restaurants. I'm just saying that you must adapt and understand. And the bigger restaurants understand that, like, they can't make a living off of DoorDash orders. Speaking of DoorDash. All right, 0 delivery for 30 days. You know what I'm saying? Like people just see the zeros. I want you to see, here's a little marketing trick, advertising deal here. I want you to look at how many zeros are in just one little area of this website. When people see zeros in a small ticket item space, like, they see affordability, okay? They see a bunch of zeros and they're looking at Maseratis, obviously. This is a different case. High ticket items and a bunch of zeros is a scary thing. But in this case, 0 delivery. Oh, cool, free delivery. And your eyes just kind of pass right over this 30 days. 30 days, okay, cool. Not long. This is a commitment deal, maybe not. It's kind of like the impression I get. 0 delivery fee for orders over $10 for 30 days. So even there's your first caveat. So must be over. Well, the $10 is not necessarily a caveat. I mean, this is standard. It must. I think there's probably a threshold. It must be $10. Anyways, let's see what they're doing. They're in all 50 states. So they're the biggest one, obviously. We're in DoorDash, Grubhub. Where did I go with Uber Eats? Where did Uber Eats go, guys? Holy crap. Very good. I swear I saw Uber Eats somewhere else. Let's continue. Grubhub. All right, we're done with them. DoorDash. Here we go. 0, $30. All these zeros. All these things. All right, here we go. So what do they got? 50 states. DoorDash. The delivery dashers pick up the order. Pros. DoorDash handles the order logistics all the way to delivery. So they facilitate everything. They own everything. They own all the data. They own the entire customer journey. They have it. They're not sharing it. Cons. DoorDash has a crowded marketplace that can prevent guests from seeing your listings and choose you. This is the case for every single one of these apps, all of them. Cost. DoorDash is a commission-based model up to 30% an order. Jesus, man, 30%. All we're hearing is 30%, 30%, 30%. This is just insane to me. All right. Let's see here. Postmates, all 50 states. How much are they charging? There is potential for increased exposure and sales because Customers come to Postmates for more than just food. Okay, what else do they sell? Pick up restaurants, groceries, alcohol, and more. Okay, cool. So Postmates will deliver anything to you. Great. So because people are looking at other things, their theory here is, well, they're looking at this grocery item list, but they're hungry now, so maybe they'll go ahead and like bring the food to you, and you put the rest of the food in your fridge. I guess. Like I don't know. They're again up to 30%. Oh my gosh, guys! Like, do y'all understand? This is a lot of. This is such a big percentage over time. This so adds up. Finally, Uber Eats. What I thought I was looking at earlier. In 2018, Uber Eats estimated it would operate in over 70% of the country by the end of the year. Wow. Uber Eats is the fastest way to get food from the kitchen to your customer's door using their existing vast fleet of ride-hailing drivers. So, like, this is like totally not a pitch to like make Uber Eats feel awesome. They're not totally trying to cozy up to them. This is the opposite of what I try to do, by the way. Like basically everyone on this screen that I've listed would never want to deal at the table, because unfortunately what we literally do is we enable restaurants to use them as lead generation sources. So there are free ways to get customers in essence. And let me tell you something. If you know anything about business, you know the cost of acquiring a customer is not cheap. Okay. I digress. Go back to it. Caviar. I've never really had much experience with this one. Full service delivery. Blah, 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 blah. I think here is like you're in a app that's like Uber Eats, but it like is meant for higher ticket items. Order food and delivery. Blah, blah, blah. Selective about who it partners with. Often partnering with more upscale establishments. This creates more of a curated marketplace. We're the Instagram of, we're the food snob, food photographers, Instagram of food ordering applications. We spend $18,000 on a food photographer. Otherwise, we don't hire them. That's basically what they're saying here. Just kidding. Free delivery, get zero delivery fees. Is I guess on the customer's side. Okay, consumer facing. Up to 30% on each order placed. Can put a strain on profit margin. Duh. This is like, why didn't you say this every time, y'all? Come on. Well, I'm not hating. I'm not hating Bento Box. Don't hate on me. Even if the guest chooses to pick the order up, they charge 12% finder's fee. So that's a pretty big number there for a finder's fee, I think. Wow. Chow now. Oh, and here's my favorite, y'all. Boom. Here we go. $400 setup fee per location. The order comes in for a first-time guest. It's a 30% fee, $149 a month, so that you can have a transaction. This is what you have Chow Now for. Let's chat. Listen, Bento Box, if y'all ever see this, I'll tell you what. I'll give you a tap the table account just so you can have a chat widget. Which I'm going to bring that to the menu, I think, this week. Anyways, so to me, guys, there are a lot of options to consider if you're a restaurant or a business looking to utilize one of these. But at the end of the day, you cannot, I don't think, rely on this. At the end of the day, what you should try to do is think outside the box and figure out, well, these guys are holding my data hostage. They're not telling me who my customers are. Yet these same customers are leaving me crappy Yelp reviews. Maybe they're leaving me reviews on all these sites, and I can't even talk back to them. Really, I can't know if they're an actual customer. I can't verify their order. I can't ask them for their order number. They're not my customer, but I'm serving them food, and they're talking about my stuff. They're not rating Uber Eats the same way they're rating Ryan's Pizza Restaurant, right? And who knows what happened to the Uber Eats driver or the DoorDash driver or whatever after they've left my place. Okay. So there's a lot of factors here that are out of our control. So we got to find a way to like get a little bit of control in this situation. And the way to do that is, in my opinion, the easiest way, an additional offer. And you slap that offer as a sticker right on your to-go box, man. And if you want to get fancy, use a QR code for all your like out-of-home marketing if you can, where it makes sense. And make it easy for the customer to redeem the offer. Then by using the QR code, you're going to likely be able to understand and track said action the customer took or didn't take. If the customer's not taking action on your QR code, Number one, A, it's broken. Number two, B, it's the offer's not good. The offer sucks, so they're not going to scan. Okay, the offer must be good. What else we got here? I think that's about it. I just wanted to really cover the power of this ghost kitchen stuff. And while we have worked with some pretty powerful influencers / celebrities, we won't get into all the names. I will give a shout out to a homie of mine now, Irving, who is the director of marketing for Taylor Gang, which is a actual creative label. They produce all sorts of creative medium, and he's got many artists on his label that he manages their marketing stuff for. And the dude's really smart, really cool, nice dude. Give him a special shout out here. He sent me a hoodie from one of the celebrities that we've done some things with, but I don't want to show it here. I don't want to give it that. I mean, obviously, if I show this merch, everyone and their mom will know exactly who this celebrity is, and we don't want necessarily that information out there just yet. But I will say it's been fun to see what is happening in this space. It's been fun to see what could be. Is it something true? Like my buddy Chad mentioned, can we expect one day to have a, Wiz Khalifa chicken wing outsell a KFC chicken wing? Is this possible? I think yes. I think that as a whole, we can see Mariah Carey outsell the main Dairy Queen down the block. Our Dairy Queen cannot stay open to serve a milkshake past 3:00 before the health crisis. It was the most unreliable place ever. And I like Dairy Queen's dip cones, man. It's the only thing I ever get, but they're kind of good. And I'm telling you, I think as a whole, we've seen the space, this fast restaurant, fast food industry, restaurant space, decline as a whole. Sure, I still get plenty of Egg McMuffins in the morning when I need some breakfast and I can't cook anything. I don't have time for that. I'm not hating on them, I'm totally like that. But I'm telling you, as far as never seeing these high quality places, the overall experience I feel like and the quality of food has just gone down. So when people are less fans, they're not as big of fans as they used to be of a McDonald's or a Burger King or something. Instead, when you have a Mr. Beast burger, right, or you have Tiger Bites, chicken bites, whatever these things are, you're maybe more likely to go this route. And especially if it's apples to apples. So if it's a delivery service, it's a delivery app, or it's the internet, food coming to you and everything is kind of at an even playing field. Sure, I can totally see a consumer going that celebrity brand route versus the Burger King route. It just makes sense. Do you want the Wiz Khalifa burger, Ryan, or you want the Burger King burger, Ryan? I'm gonna go for the Wiz Khalifa burger, man. Come on. I don't want no Burger King burger. I want the Wiz burger. I could totally see this, but I digress. Thank you guys for listening to me rant tonight. No Tap the Table previews tonight, but I will tell you the features we have dropped. There's nothing on the internet that I've scoured this thing all day long, guys. There's nothing that comes close to the power of Tap the Table in this space. There's just not. And I will, just like my man, Daniel Guerrero from Gyro Track, will put his machines, his mulching machines up against any other comparable device or machine out there on the planet head to head and say, run it. Tap the Table's here, baby. We are not going anywhere. We're getting bigger and we are growing and it's all good and we will not cave to the wrong place. So I'm telling you, the third parties that want to play in the social media driven marketing space, you need to go back to the drawing boards, because here you're not going to be able to get that help because you're not in it for the right reasons. Same with the POS and the credit card companies out there that really are not in it for the best interest of their customers. Tap the Table does not care for you guys. We care for the end user, and the end user's end user. This is what it's about. It's about helping people. It's about making things better, not how much money can we get from someone. And I'll tell you, I will change my tune if one or some of these third-party delivery services and ordering applications rethink their models and actually do the right thing. And I'm telling you, the right thing will win eventually, So like, if the first, here's your advice, because I'm never gonna be one to like totally like just ever present a problem and not even a sort of a solution. Here's the solution I'm proposing to the big delivery companies out there, what I think you guys should do. And the one that does it correctly, and the first one that does it, you're going to win it long term. Focus on your end user, meaning the customer of the restaurant. If you focus there versus how can I get the most money, you're going to see mass adoption and maybe mass migration. People are into doing the right thing, believe it or not. I have faith in people. They want to do the right things. Give them these options, and I think they'll choose the right path, right? I think that instead of the 30%, you went out on a campaign and you actually helped your end user, help the customer by running some BOGOs like actual brick and mortars do, where you actually suffer a little bit of profit loss, okay? Like these guys are just crushing it left and right. It's okay to not make all the money one day and instead help out. Make something free. Do something where, as a third party, you can actually have a brand. Don't just con people into your landing page and say zero this, zero that, free delivery this. The only reason I ever even downloaded Uber Eats, I remember this very vividly, the only reason I ever downloaded the thing was like, I got an email, totally spam, that I did not sign up for, Uber Eats. And they said, download today and you'll get free $20 basically. Order right now and you'll get $20 order for free. I did it. I was like, how are they doing this? I was like, there's so many people that are going to get this spam email. How are they able to just like give away all this stuff? That's kind of cool. Well, then I downloaded the thing and come to find out, here's the real story. The order had to be like $50 or something. So it's like, I'm one person. So there's always a catch. I feel like when it seems like it's too good to be true, it usually is. I'll tell you, I think that, again, when you do the right things, even though it might take longer, I think the benefits will always outweigh trying to take everything, Either way, at least, even if you're not the richest person in the world, because you're not taking advantage of bad situations and of the lack of knowledge of tech out there, at least you should be able to sleep at night. And I would never be able to sleep at night taking 30% of someone's income like this nonstop. After a year, still, really, I'd feel like any other vendor type situation, you're looking for a deal at some point. You're looking at like, listen, we've been doing this thing together for a minute. Like, hook your friend up here, right? But instead, no, these guys are just doubling down, making things just worse. So that's why people like me exist. And we're going to do the right things. We're going to empower the restaurants, empower the small businesses, and give the contact list, give the customers back to the place that it belongs to. Other than that, y'all, I hope you have an excellent week. This has been fun. We'll do some tap the table announcements tomorrow, I think. If we're feeling up to it, we'll show you all the fun features and the ones that will just change the whole game and the ones that should make the big platforms just like shake in their boots, man, because we have the answers to so many of these mass problems. And it is finally time to just unleash this bad boy, man. We're just going to unleash it. Get ready.